the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Last year I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulated test driver.
So there's 1.4 behind.
This opportunity is huge.
That's faster than the factory McLaren driver, and he's done 6 laps.
Let's go race.
Hello and welcome everybody to Martinsville, Virginia, here at the Martinsville Speedway for Race 2 of Round 2 of the 3-Wide Racing RaceKings Cup Series playoffs here tonight at the Paperclip. We go from one crazy track to another one here tonight, from one of the biggest tracks to one of the smallest tracks, and both are going to pack quite a lot of entertainment. This is just going to be one of a different form here. Myself, I love short track racing. I'm Justin Kolb. It'll just be me here tonight. You'll have to deal with my voice and my voice alone, but Tanner Sharp unfortunately had a family emergency, and Carlos is not quite in commentating shape, so you'll have to deal with me for tonight, but should be focusing more on the racing, I guess, and not the talking. These guys put on the show, not us. But here tonight, like we said, it's race 2 of round 2, and Talladega did quite shake up the point standings a bit, so why don't we take a look at those before we get into tonight's festivities. And one of the closest finishes in three-wide history we saw last week between Johnny Thomas and Tate Lytle, and it advances Thomas into round 3, and it's Cameron Rich currently in second with 32 or 36 points to the good on the cutoff spot. Peter Short and Paul Ross tied with 12 points to the good, and then you get into what I would consider the danger zone. Both Peter and Paul definitely not comfortable by any means, but Luis and Chuck Sweeting tied there as well with 8 points above the cutoff line. Have a bit of a gap, but can't afford any mistakes tonight or at Texas next week. But this is more of a track where if things can go wrong, they're going to go really wrong in a hurry. And then we move on to Sam Close, who surprisingly is 8 points below the cutoff spot. We didn't expect to see that, but nonetheless, he is in danger of not advancing, as well as Matt Hackthorne and Kevin Finn, who arguably are in must-win situations at this point. Of course, Matt Hackthorne unfortunately involved in an incident at Talladega, and Kevin Finn, who did not take the green flag, both 32 points and 43 points below the cutoff spot, respectively. So those guys might be in a desperate situation if we come to a late race restart here tonight. We'll have to see what the game plan is for everybody tonight. But we do know that fuel is going to be about 90 to 100 laps around here. This is a 250 lap event. So don't expect we'll get any long green flag runs, but there's always the possibility. These guys have looked pretty straight in practice. So let's see if they can keep it straight in the race. One thing of note about this track, a half-mile racetrack, they call it the paperclip just because it's the shape of the track basically resembles a paperclip. You can see it there on the track map. Basically what this track is, it's just 2 hairpins that you would see possibly on a road course, and both in real life, and you'll probably see it here tonight. The road course stars will most likely shine tonight. I've seen it kind of firsthand with myself, with a friend I raced against here, and a good road course racer himself, but I expect the guys who do well, who make right-hand turns, to do pretty well here tonight as well. So with that, about 10 minutes left to go in practice. Riding on board here with David Wilson. Did they just call the driver's meeting? Okay. So their driver's meeting will be in about 10 minutes, so we won't quite start the grid walk just yet. Let them talk it out. Why don't we wait to interview until they're done with that? Don't want to get that cut short and don't want to interfere with the driver's meeting. But while we have the chance, why don't we take a look at the standings here for practice here tonight? And as I mentioned, one of the road course kings here this season, Cameron Rich, on top of the board at the moment, a 19.1 flat there for Cameron Rich. And last week's winner, Johnny Thomas, in second. In my opinion, I wasn't expecting to see him up there, but showing that he didn't need Talladega to advance himself in at the moment. Always, practice times aren't always indicative of how we'll race, but it's a good start for Johnny up there in second. And Chuck Sweeting in third, as we mentioned, one of the drivers on the bubble. Peter Short in fourth, another good road course racer himself. And Sam Close will round out the top 5. Once again, Sam Close in danger. And I think he has a win or 2 at Martinsville here in 3 wide, so some good momentum for him, I'm sure. Chevy Gilliam making, I believe, his first start here in the Cup Series this week in the 76, filling in for James Duke, and that name's going to take a little bit getting used to. Chevy, of course, one of the manufacturers in the series, and going to be a name here, so going to take a little bit of getting used to. But Paul Ross in 7th, David Wilson 8th. Check that. Who just moved up? Nathan Velez moves up into the 3rd spot with a 19.180. Actually ties Johnny Thomas for 2nd. So that'll move Paul Ross down to 8th, David Wilson to 9th, and Dylan Hickey will round out the top 10. And I believe they're probably in the driver's meeting at the moment. One thing of note here tonight as well, maybe if you're not too familiar with the month of October, you're going to see some drivers with pink on their cars. That's, of course, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and kind of, I guess, expected of some people to put pink on their cars. Of course, not necessary, but I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot more of that as we get later into the month of October. And it's crazy to think, by the way, that after tonight, we're only going to have 4 races left here in the 3-wide racing season. Next week it's going to be at Texas, and that will be another elimination race. Then we move on to Chicagoland and Phoenix, and then we finish it all off at Homestead, where 3 drivers will battle for the championship. And that's yet to be decided, but we already know one driver who will be into the round of 6, and of course that's Johnny Thomas. See, these guys still in their drivers meeting. We'll wait to see when one of the drivers pulls off. That's how we know they'll be done, and maybe see who's going to be a good guy to maybe pull up into the booth here and kind of talk about how this track is running tonight. A pretty high track temp as well, I might add. Last time we checked, it was 91 degrees. That's fairly hot. Now it's gone down about 88 since it's these guys have been off the track. It's gone down 3 degrees. Just laughing at the name there. But a hotter track temp definitely going to result in more slipping and sliding off these corners. I have a feeling that turns 2 and 4, although we haven't seen too terribly much of it during practice as we see some of the drivers pulling off. Turns 2 and 4 might be a bit difficult as we get later into runs. Obviously, tires are going to be more wore out, and turns 2 and 4 are going to be more slippy and slidey as the run goes on. So those are probably going to be the trouble corners here tonight, as everybody seems like is running again. Who should we talk to? Why don't we talk to, if we can, Johnny Thomas, last week's winner and currently up second on the board. Why don't we give him a ring if we can? Hey, Johnny Thomas, 3Y TV, you got a copy?
I got you, Justin. What's happening?
Well, we knew you were on the track. Sorry to interrupt that, but we know you won last week and kind of thought that would advance you easily, but you're showing almost like that Talladega. You didn't really need that. Currently sitting second on the board. What's up with that?
I don't know. I definitely needed that at Talladega because anything can happen at Martinsville, but this is one of my favorite tracks, and right now we're pretty quick. See what qualifying is going to do for us, and right, it's going to be the same guys up front like always, Cam and Peter and Paul, but you never know what could happen at Martinsville. It's a long race.
Absolutely, and one of the characteristics I kind of go with Martinsville is, it's said it before, basically 2 hairpin corners at each track, or in each corner, and that can result in some of the short or road course guys coming up to shine. Do you feel like you may be at a disadvantage there, or do you think it's just kind of a typical short track here?
I've always had success here, and I'm really bad at road courses, so I don't know if that plays much into me, but I'm just really, I think I'm pretty good on hitting my marks consecutively, and I like rhythm tracks, and Martinsville is a super rhythm track. You got to hit your corner, you got to be good in, you got to be good off, but definitely through the middle. You always got to roll through that middle, that center of the turn, and I think that's what I do fairly well. So really, I mean, the road course guys have a lot of success here. You see Cameron, he's led a lot of laps here, and so is Peter, and they're both really good at the road courses as well.
Well, you explained how to run this track perfectly right there, and before we let you go, just kind of want to talk or ask you about what the track is feeling like right now. We earlier running was about a 91 degree track temp, and while you guys were sitting during the drivers meeting, it dropped about 3 degrees. Track feeling slippy and slidey at all tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot and slick. You're going to see guys, if they didn't mess with their brake biases, you're going to see guys getting loose into 1 and into 3, and then coming off is pretty loose. So you're going to see guys fighting the wheel, and that's something we haven't really seen here a lot at Martinsville lately. It's been pretty stable setup to where you're gassing off good and you're getting a good run off the turn. But it's loose tonight, so I think you're going to see some guys hit that inside wall. Hopefully it's not me.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for letting us butt in there during your practice, and we wish you the best of luck here tonight.
No problem. Well, have fun, guys.
That was Johnny Thomas, last week's winner, and currently second on the board. And said, explaining that perfectly, just how you have to run Martinsville. It's going to be all about patience, a very rhythm-based track, and you don't want to get into that gas too early, because it'll hurt the tires and possibly spin the car out, so have to have all your concentration when you're racing at Martinsville. So about 3 minutes left to go. Let's see. All right, let's start with our grid walk here tonight. Let's go down to Eisentech. Hey, Eisentech guys, it's the 3YTV grid walk. You guys got a copy?
10-4. Hella!
All right, you guys sound pumped up for tonight. We know this track is kind of favors road course guys. How's the track feeling tonight?
Feels really interesting. The brake bias doesn't seem to be working out all too well for a lot of the guys. Definitely very loosey-goosey on entry. Seems like it's really easy to overcook the corner, a little bit easier than usual here. So got to play with the brake bias tonight as the run goes on. So that should be pretty interesting.
Well, Cameron, you're up there pretty high in points at the moment concerning the cutoff spot. Peter, you're a little bit closer towards the bottom. Any concern with that tonight, or just going to run your race?
We're going to play race car boxing like it always is, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the target's on the back of the 17, so if I'm close to him near the end of the race, a couple nudges, put him in the fence, you know, flip him upside down, that would be a job well done tonight.
Fair enough. That's Martinsville racing for you. So wish you the best of luck here tonight, and let's see, who else can we go down to? Let's go down. Let's see what the Rebel guys are doing. Hey, Rebel Racing 3YTV grid walk. You guys got a copy?
10-4.
All right. How's the track feeling for you guys here tonight? We kind of heard a couple, basically the same, a little bit slidey out there.
Yeah, slidey out too. There's gonna be a lot of oil spin.
Just heard from Eisentech that some of the, and Johnny kinda, that seemed like the brake bias wasn't working for some guys. You guys feeling the same thing?
It gets pretty loose under braking, I think, no matter what. It's just kind of the style of the track. I don't know. I haven't really fiddled with it too much.
All right. Well, we wish you guys the best of luck here tonight. Let's see what Team Blurry's doing down there.
Oh.
Hey, Team Blurry, it's a 3YTV grid walk. You guys got a copy?
Gotcha.
How's the track feeling here tonight, guys? You feeling a win?
No, not me. Just feeling survival right now.
Feel that? That's kind of Martinsville.
Yeah.
Justin, you're cute.
Oh, thanks, Corey. Saw you were running some laps out there, Corey. Feeling the track out?
I'm feeling something out.
Did we just go there? What?
That's fine, you know. 25. All right. Well, we wish you, Nick and Brent. Brent, are you running tonight? Yeah, you are. Wish you guys the best of luck here tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right. Well, 30 seconds remaining. Ooh, not 30 minutes. 30 seconds remaining until we run our qualifying here. See which driver's going to get the Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award here tonight. 5 minutes, 2 laps. Should be interesting. Be interesting also to see how much that track temp drops or gains, if any, as we roll into qualifying. David Wilson there, and practice going to come to a close here. So we'll see which driver comes out first, and see if we can't. See if we can't. Jeez. All right. So Kevin Finn going to be the first off pit road here. See if we can't ride on board with him with his 2 laps. A driver who unfortunately is at the bottom of the brackets here. He takes his first time lap. So it's I'm not going to repeat what Carlos just said, but anyways. So can see just how high the RPMs get here as well. Basically almost topping it out as you get into the corner, if not topping it out. That's going to be his first timed lap. 19.145. Currently puts him 5th as he heads into turn 3 again. Just all about being smooth on and off the brakes and on the throttle. So it's going to get you your speed as Kevin jumps up to 4th on the board. See if he pulls it in or is going to run a few more laps. Nope, looks like he's pulling it in. I know some guys run more laps in qualifying, just kind of get accustomed to the track. Riding on board here with Levi Zielinski. That will be warm up lap. He'll come around to take his first time lap. Ooh, oh, kind of overshot turn 3 there. Expecting him to see if he can't sometimes you get in there a little hotter and kind of dime it down. Can get you some speed, but I definitely don't want to lead or leave the bottom here tonight. That camera angle is great, by the way. Found that out in just before we went live, so. There's Peter Short, Johnny Thomas there. And where is Johnny at the moment in terms of his time? Don't think he's taken a lap yet. Oh, nope, he has. Currently 11th, 19.209. Yeah, that's going to be a little worse time-wise on his second lap. Saw him hit that curbing down there. That's, you don't want to hit that here tonight. Kind of want to ride around it. As you can see, Peter riding it. Definitely not what you want to do, just having some fun in qualifying. But hitting that can definitely offset the car. Kind of works at a road course. Kind of helps the car turn. Here, you're not going to want to do that. It's going to offset the car and possibly get you to spin out. So, might be an issue for some guys here tonight as we see the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw rolling out. I believe it's Hanshaw in the car tonight. Yes, it is. So he'll come around to start his first timed lap. Exactly where you want to be there, basically hugging the curb. Some guys get a little higher up and try and get a good run out of the corner. Call it the diamond effect. Just enter high, exit low. And that will put him 16th, 19.592. Just about everyone has taken a qualifying lap, with the exception of 5 drivers. I said just about, Carlos. So Hanshaw gonna jump up to 14th there. There's Chad Brown. Just took his 2 laps. Currently 16th on the board. And don't see anybody else rolling with the exception of Hanshaw. But Hanshaw has taken his 2 laps, so. So about 30 seconds remaining, and unless somebody else goes out onto the racetrack, it looks like Cameron Rich will be your Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award winner here tonight. And it's looking like Chuck Sweeting will start alongside him in second. In terms of the championship standings, once again, Cameron Rich, 36 points to the good. And Chuck Sweeting, 8 to the good. So one driver kind of worried about nothing at this point, and one kind of on the border. So that will wrap up qualifying, and it will be Cameron Rich, your Drive for Suicide Prevention Pole Award winner. As everybody starts to grid up here, we will take you through the grid. And there it is. So it will be like, once again, Cameron Rich on the pole here tonight with an 18.958. Max Sweeting in second at 18.9. Tate Lytle will start third here tonight. Nathan Velez will start in the fourth position. Kevin Finn will round out your top 5 here tonight. Peter Short will just miss it in sixth. Sam Close will start 7th tonight. Matt Hackthorne with a lot of ground to make up in 8th. Chevy Gilliam will start 9th. Richard Lafferty will round out your top 10. Johnny Thomas will start 11th, once again advanced into the next round. Paul Ross will start 12th. Luis Masso will start 13th. Kyle Hanshaw 14th. Levi Zielinski rounds out the top 15. Chad Brown will start next to him in 16th. Richard Hines will start 17th. Jordan Teal in the 18th position. Dylan Hickey in 19th. David Wilson will round out your top 20. And as Tanner would always say, blackjack position number 21, Brent Miller. Corey Lindsay officiating here tonight, not in the race. So Mike Stevens in 23rd. Nick Miller will start in 24th. And, oh, I thought there was a 25th. I guess my timing lied to me. I'm going to do that to me. All right, well, it's going to be 2 pace laps here on this half-mile racetrack. And then we'll let them loose for 250 laps. For some of these guys, there's going to be a lot on the line. This track as much of a wild card as Talladega, arguably. Really, if an accident happens everywhere, you're not going to have a lot of time to react. So it's a possibility that you could be in it with how small this racetrack is, how kind of narrow these corners are. So don't want to get into the wrecks should they happen, but it seemed like most of the guys were pretty stable in practice, so see how wild they get if they do here under green flag conditions. So they are rolling. Before we get set to take the green flag here tonight, I have a few thank yous to send out. Of course, to Track Cams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams, and Thomas Morris from OCR TV for the graphics package you see here tonight. Alright, exiting turn 2. Getting set. Pace car going to pull in here on the back straightaway. Alright. Don't always know what to expect from the short tracks. Should be crazy, should be hectic, but it should be fun. Green flag is out, Cameron Rich is away, and we are racing at Martinsville. Cameron Rich, a good start there. And it looks like everybody will make it through turn 2 safely. Still side by side in the pack. 14 and 48. Side by side. Wow, Peter Short really missed that corner and about got into the wall. He'll slot in 8th there. Just about socked the wall. That got very close. And it looks just like that. Everybody is kind of filed in. See Levi Zielinski, Richard Lafferty still fighting for space back there, and Richard will find a spot in line. Oh, he's going to really overshoot turn 2, though. And he's going to lose the position to Levi, put him back to 14th. That bottom line, you're going to... Oh, have a penalty here. The 76 of Chevy Gilliam. I'd have to assume I don't think I see any penalties called from the ad. Well, I was going to say, he pulled down, but maybe he passed someone before the start-finish line. We know that, or at least I think you get penalized for that on the green. I also see Mike Stevens down pit road. So 2 penalties early here tonight, it appears. Both just pass-throughs, it looks like. But they go on, and definitely not a track you want to have a penalty at. Easily take 1 lap away like it did to those 2, or possibly 2 or 3. See there, Richard Lafferty still fighting get a spot in line. And what I was going to say before is he does get a spot in line. That inside line going to be so crucial here tonight. Get stuck on the outside line, and it's almost like losing the draft at Talladega. You're going to fall to the back unless you can find a hole. Richard really loose off turn 2 there. And Peter, it looks like he misses the corner again. Not sure if it's not enough braking or possibly getting on the gas too quick. I think last time I was loose off turn 2 there. I don't think that truck or that car is handling very well. So I can't confirm. As I thought it was originally, both lane changes on the 76 and the 63. Our off-track official, Corey Lindsay, just confirmed that to me. Looks like Peter will try and find a groove here early tonight. 10 laps into this 250-lap event. This is on board with the 14 of Kevin Finn, currently in 4th. Once again, basically a driver who's in a must-win situation. It's going to be very difficult, near impossible, to make up 43 points in this competitive field. But doing all he can here tonight so far. That top 5 position at the moment. And up front, doesn't seem like Chuck Sweeting has let Cameron Rich go on too far by himself. Keeping pretty close tabs with the leader at the moment. At this track, catching the leader, just kind of like Dover a couple weeks ago. Catching the leader is one thing, passing him is going to be another one. And I think it's, at least I think it's a little too early to start using the bumper, but some of these drivers may have differing opinions. Peter Short going to take it really narrow into turn 1 there. Oh, the 8 gets into the 46, and around goes the 33 Jordan Teal. And there's the caution. The 91 of Dylan Hickey gets into the 33, who was stopped on top of the racetrack. Or at the top, I should say. Here's the replay. And I'm not sure if that was Richard Lafferty just not expecting Kyle Hanshaw to break that early, or deal was there. But take another look here on board the 8 of Richard Lafferty. Just kind of seemed like he was going to try and brake a little bit later into the corner, and kind of misjudged it with the 46, and unfortunately it looks like the 33 gets the most damage out of that. Just about everybody on pit road here. Ooh, heard some contact there. I think it was the 39 and the 89. We didn't see too much damage, if any. And Cameron Rich will win the battle off pit road. And I think Chuck Sweeting will beat Tate Lytle off. He will. 76 of Chevy Gilliam, I believe, got the wave around, so he will recover early from that early penalty. And Mike Stevens, will he come to pit road this time? He will not, so I will have to assume that either, well, no, he would most likely be taking the wave around to be getting back on the lead lap. That was a relatively short green flag run, only 12 laps on his, actually no, 16 laps on his tires, 12 laps from when he came down pit road. See the 76 of Chevy. He gets the luxury of being able to come down and take tires. Unfortunately, Mike Stevens does not. So, a penalty that can really bite a lot of drivers at this track. It's almost too easy to kind of forget about that penalty and fall or change lanes to the bottom, just because of how dominant that line is. It bites 2 drivers early. So, lights are off, and there he goes. So he will be off sequence just a bit, but it'll only be about 16 laps difference on his tires. Shouldn't make too much of a difference, I don't believe, but I have to see as pace car is in. No surprise, Cameron Rich will select the bottom line there. Coming out of turn 4, Cameron is off. Green flag is out once again. A very good start for Cameron. Doesn't want to have the possibility of being forced into the outside line. And there's the 76, who got off pit road late there and already in danger of being put a lap down. Battle is on for second. Kevin Finn and Chuck Sweeting will battle into turn 1. And there goes the 76 being put a lap down. Oh, the 26 barely got into the wall there. Not too much damage, but will lose some momentum down the straightaway. And this is going to be tight for the 26, as he's going to have to battle a lap car in his way. Unless he can find a hole. Currently battling with Sam Close for the 4th spot, and he will find a hole. Saw that from the onboard of Nathan Velez. Well, unfortunately for Chevy, just got that lap back, and like just a little bit too long on pit road and falling all the way back in the field once again. Front, Cameron is taking about a second lead from now Kevin Finn in second. Chuck Sweeting has fallen back to 4th, and Sam Close up to 3rd. And kind of seems like just about the rest of the field all single file, so not a whole lot of racing, with the exception of Chevy Gilliam just kind of falling farther in the pack, not being able to find a spot in line. Either not being able to find a spot or just kind of going to the back forcibly. But no real surprise. It kind of seems like everyone just taking it easy. Yeah, the 48 and Nathan Velez had a really shallow line entering 1. Makes it stick, though. And kind of seems like Peter Short trying to set up some way to get by the 48 Nathan Velez, and he will. We'll take the inside, entering the corner, and see if he'll be able to keep that spot. He will. Oh, the 59 of Levi Zielinski around on the back straightaway. That will bring out our second caution of the night. Looks like that's hard contact. Yeah, a decent amount. Oh, yeah. Yep, got on the gas a little bit too hard there, spun the car out, and yeah, not too bad contact. Hit basically square on the nose, about how you'd want to do it. And that's probably going to be how it's going to be here tonight. A lot of damaged race cars, as you see Chuck Sweeting, Johnny Thomas, and Chad Brown down pit road, and it looks like as well as the 9 of Nick Miller and the 63 of Mike Stevens. Catches another fortunate caution, can kind of get back on the same strategy as everybody else. It was a little bit of a shorter run that time. About 13 laps. As 76 will get his lap back again, so another lucky break. So coming to complete 30 laps here. Or we will take lap 30. It's next time by, so 2 cautions in the books, but they've been relatively quickie cautions. Don't believe the lights go out this time. No, sir. So, kind of give you a little re-rack here. Cameron Rich, still your leader, has led them all tonight so far. Kevin Finn is up to second. Sam Close in third. Peter Short in fourth. Slowly moving up, Peter is from his little start of the race debacle. Didn't seem like the car was just handling anywhere near his liking. It does seem like he has just the tiniest bit of right side damage. But that's not going to be an issue at all. And then Nathan Vlez will round out the top 5 as pace car lights are off. Matt Hackthorne in 6th. One of the drivers still in danger coming into tonight. Paul Ross in 7th. Richard Hines in 8th. Kyle Hanshaw in 9th. And Luis Salmaso will round out the top 10 here. Pace car will pull in. Expect another good restart from Cameron. I did see the 76 was caught up to the field, basically, on the back straightaway, so he won't be a worry. And the 17 is off. Oh! The 22, not a good restart at all! Someone flipping down the front straightaway, or at least on his roof, it looked like. And heavy damage to the 22. Didn't get a good look at that initially. See what happened there from the replay. See 2 modifies already. Someone did not get a good restart, whether it was wheel spin or just misjudged the start, possibly missed a shit. The 22 of Peter Short, where it all started, kind of checked up the field. And the 4, Luis Salmaso, just about going over. Riding on board from the 9 of Nick Miller. And just really nothing he could have done there. I'm sure he was hard on the brakes, but it's either slide into that or just hit the brakes and hope you can stop. Man. It was a little worse, or it was a little less on Luis's there. Well, Johnny Thomas involved in that does have that win to back him up, but Peter Short coming into tonight, only 12 to the good. He is a modified driver now. Take another look at it. Seems like most guys are on pit road, I believe, and really just wheel spin off the corner for the 22. Unfortunately, got into the 5 of Sam. And carnage. So most people on pit road are the ones who's going to be involved in all that. Quite a few guys. Here's the 4, Luis Salmaso. Got up on 2 wheels at one point. And from my vantage point, it almost looked like he was about to go over, but wasn't the case. 64, Chad Brown involved. Jordan Teal involved in that first one. And now involved on this one. Brent Miller as well involved in that one. And I don't know if David Wilson was. But he was down pit road as well. Everybody else looks like stays out. But by the way, our first restart mistake of the night. And it comes from a driver who I didn't think we'd see it from, Peter Short. Where is he? Coming down pit road again. I will say that's your call, producer. If we talk to Peter Short or not. Peter Short, 3Y TV, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, an unfortunate mistake there on the restart. Kind of looked like you got on the gas a little bit too hard, or what was it like from your vantage point?
Yeah, no one can check up. But yeah, I got on the gas a little bit too hard and spun the rear tires and stuff. And yeah, I just that's racing here. So just a shame that that happened and all that. But whatever. We'll try and do our best to make what we can do with, and do what we can.
Just beat the pace car out. We see you don't have a nose. How bad is the car?
It's pretty toast. Hopefully we can be fast, but whatever. yeah, it's just a shame, you know. Really, really a shame.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. We thank you for taking some time to talk to us, Peter. And pretty frustrated, and unfortunately, yeah. He like Carlos just mentioned, though, he didn't seem like he had a handle on the car all night. At the beginning, it seemed like it was kind of out of control towards the midpoint there. Well, it's midpoint as we are right now, but you know, it seemed like he kind of got it a bit under control, but it just seemed like handling was a struggle for Peter from the drop of the green. But like I mentioned earlier, if there's a wreck here, I mean, there's not much you can do with how narrow the front straightaway is there. And, you know, these cars don't have the best brakes, and there's really not much you can do there in that scenario. So, unfortunate for Peter, like we said, could hear the frustration, and rightly so. He'll have to work with a pretty beat-up race car here tonight and see what he can do. The restart was waved off about twice. It looks like we will be going green this time, as everybody is caught up. Pace car is in. Cameron Rich still your leader. Expect him to get another good start here. Almost seemed like he kind of checked him up there a little bit, but he is off and the green flag is out. Once again, it'll be the fight for second as they come through turn 2. It looks like Kevin Finn will have the advantage, still on the outside though. Oh, Kyle Hanshaw just about blew that corner. There'll be 3 wide coming off. Well, that could have been a lot worse for the driver of the 46. Really squirrely as he entered that corner. One car on the wall there, I believe it was... Oh, that's where I heard it from. Luis Almaso involved. A lot of other cars involved too. Richard Lafferty, Mike Stevens, Brent Miller, and I think Peter Short involved again. Just contact from Jordan Teal got Luis around. Hit the brakes, and nowhere anybody could really go. You can see Peter Short back there just came to a stop, as well as Brent Miller. So this is on board the 8. Man, nowhere to go. And who all came down pit road? Not everybody, but it looks like our second place runner did, as well as Sam Close there, who was in third. Decent amount of front runners came down, so. Cameron Rich still out there, though, as well as Chuck Sweeting. Take a quick look at Johnny Thomas. Nah, that car's still pretty beat up, but it's not too bad. Definitely be a lot worse. Fortunately, you see Chad Brown there, the modified. Basically just referring to the lack of a nose on those race cars. Like a Tour modified or an SK modified would. Not familiar with a modified, basically the open wheel sanction that NASCAR runs. How bad is Luis at the moment coming off pit road? Unfortunately, it looks like he's a lap down, I believe. As far as my scoring shows, he's not, at least arrow-wise, not too bad. Obviously, can't see under, or what the car's feeling like. I'm gonna say let's hold off on talking to Luis. I don't. He's probably a bit annoyed as well, so. And Luis, one of the drivers who was kind of on the bubble as well entering tonight. Only 8 points to the good for the start. And Chad Brown, the Modify, going to restart in third spot. They delay the green, I believe, to let everybody catch up. So the front row going to be like it was at the start of tonight. Cameron Rich, your leader, and Chuck Sweeting in second. Chuck is on the border as well, entering tonight, 8 points to the good, but looks like he's got a stout car. I believe we'll probably be going green this time. Looks like everybody's caught up. So far, it's been all Cam and Rich here tonight for these 47 laps. Pace car is in. Expect the 17 to get another good start. There goes Cameron, and there's the green flag. Chuck Sweeting, a good start there as well as Johnny Thomas. He was on the money. Moves Johnny up to third. Chad Brown will fight with Sam Close for fourth. Just behind them as well, Tate Lytle and Kevin Finn. We're battling out. There goes the 48 of Nathan Velez. Just through the grass there and somehow saves that race car. He's also been a driver that seems like he's been struggling just a little bit. It seems like those guys were checked up by the 64 of Chad Brown there. Lets him go. Paul Ross fighting with Richard Hines. Thought he was going to take a 3 wide, unfortunately. Well, I thought he was going to lose time there, but he's actually looking like he's going to get the spot on Richard. Not quite. Richard will fill that hole. And fighting from the outside is Paul Ross. Everybody up front in line at the moment, so these are your fights back here for position. And that's the best one right there, Paul Ross and Richard Hines. Are they gonna? No. I keep thinking that Paul's gonna take a 3 wide, but there's not quite the grip for that, and unfortunately, Paul is going to lose a position to the 91. See the 89 exiting pit road there. It was a lane change violation for that car, just informed. Ooh, the 46 gets checked up from the 64 Chad Brown, just behind them. And a new third place as CM Close gets by the 83 of Johnny Thomas. That might be tight. Yep, there goes the 46. He's going to hang on to it, but contact with the 91. Almost looked like a bit of netcode there. Didn't seem like he quite got into him, but obviously either way it was close. And thought the 46 was going to go around again. His tail was looking like he was going to. Seems like another car who's kind of been struggling with grip. Well, back up front. Looks like we may have a battle for the lead brewing up here shortly. It's on board with Chuck Sweeting in second. Sam Close just behind him in third. He's going to have to get a good run out of a corner, Chuck will, to be able to get side by side. Seemed like he lost some there. I think it was a little bit of wheel spin. Basically gets right to the back bumper on the straightaways, but obviously can't do much more than that. Oh, Johnny Thomas going to slide it into the corner. Somehow saves it, going to lose a spot or two. Man, were those tires squealing. He's going to fall back to 6th there. Just behind Tate Lytle. Take a look at this. Struggling from turn 3 to turn 4 there. Just kind of, you're seeing the battle up front. Taking a look here through the rest of the pack. See Paul Ross battling with Chad Brown there. That is for the 11th position. Chad's going to get out of line, so Paul will get that spot. Oh, something happened to Tate Lytle. Oh, in the 64, Chad Brown almost going to go around off the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. What happened to Tate, I have to wonder. I believe... No, his car almost just stopped off turn 4. Oh, I believe he was having connection issues, so he pulled off to let those simmer out. And he is dropped from about 5th place all the way down to 10th. Battling with Paul Ross now. Paul's going to throw it in there. Looks like it'll stick. And looks like that's going to be the best battle on track. Luis Almaso really high in 2, letting the lead cars go. It's going to be a tough night for Luis. Both in points and finishing here tonight. Chuck has been right on the rear bumper of the 17 for last 10, 15 laps. Just, again, can't really do much with him at the moment. And as Tate scoots away from Paul, that's going to be about the best battle on track. Oh, something's happened to Chad Brown and Peter Short back here. Not quite sure what was happening. Those two got really slow off 4. That's going to be some contact there, some door slamming off the corner. 2 drivers probably hot about what happened here tonight. We definitely know that Peter Short is. And Chad Brown also missing a nose. Probably not too happy about how the night has gone. And Nathan Velez. Oh. I guess Nathan had a small little blink there. He is back. Just in front of Johnny Thomas. Tate Lytle going to get the spot on Richard Hines there. So he will start the climb back up the ladder of positions. Still not quite sure what happened. Just seemed like he came off the corner like the car was shut down, but I think he was slowing up just to make sure that he didn't get into the way of anybody. I think he recognized that he was having connection issues. Richard Hines way up the racetrack. Paul easily going to take that spot. Get battled just behind them, I thought. I think it was between some lap cars. Not missing much up front. Well, I was going to say Cameron was kind of slowly pulling away, and then all of a sudden Chuck Sweeting made it all up in 3 and 4. Entering a little bit higher. Trying to get that good run off, and that's what it's going to take to be able to get the position. You can see the difference of lines. And not too far ahead of them is going to be lap traffic, so adds another factor that they're going to have to deal with tonight. You can see there just how Chuck kind of sails into the corner. A little loose off exit. Either way, he's making a lot of time up on exit. Just doesn't have quite the amount of momentum he's going to need to be side by side with Cameron. You can see just in front of them is the 89 of Brent Miller. It's going to be the first lap car they're going to have to deal with. There's a good battle right there between Nathan Velez and Johnny Thomas. And Nathan looking like he's going to let Johnny go there. Chevy Gilliam really sliding it into the corner. I didn't think corner entry was going to be giving these guys quite as big of a problem as it's been. But obviously, seeing a lot of cars just really sliding the back end, entering that. Mostly through 3, or entering 3. Chuck Sweeting there with a little bobble off. They should get by Brent Miller pretty handily there. Again, just kind of taking a look through the field there. No real battles. Everyone kind of just single file, with the exception of Paul Ross now getting by the lap car of Richard Lafferty. This might be calm before the storm. I guess we'll have to wait and see, as 17 will now get by the 4 of Luis Salmaso. Unfortunately, yeah, Luis 3 laps down here tonight, so I think, yeah, it should be an 11-lap rule here tonight. Producer can correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's a short track, so it should be 11 laps and you're parked for the night. So obviously, is it 6? I was gonna say, either way, we'll find out one way or the other, but I think Luis still far a ways away from finding that out. Nick Miller will be the next car these guys come to lap, and just kind of seems like Chuck lets Cameron go, kind of loses track of him in some corners, and then in others reels it all back in. Either way, not letting Cameron get too far ahead at the moment. That's first and second. Sam Close and Kevin Finn currently in third and fourth respectively. Kind of the same story there. Not letting Sam get too far ahead. Johnny kind of dealing with lap traffic at the moment. He is in fifth, getting by Brent Miller. Just got by Luis Almaso, and possibly a good battle brewing up between Nathan Velez and Chevy Gilliam. Dealing with the lap car of Luis Almaso at the moment. And Chevy sliding it through the corner once again. Not going to be good for the tires, but holding on to it, so. Man, did he drive it into turn 2 there. Made up all the ground he had lost with that slide. Just about to the back bumper of the 48. He's definitely got some speed. And just behind them, actually that's Matt Hackthorne getting by Luis, so. Paul Ross not too far behind Matt Hackthorne. Battle for the lead there. Kind of just as we usually see it. Chuck's going to get really up there in terms of entrance to the corner. Doesn't seem like it helped him a bunch exiting. But I think at this point he's just kind of experimenting with what his car can do. As we close in on the lap 100 mark, 125 will be our halfway point. That's when we will award points to the top 10, and I thought Chuck was going to be able to get to the inside. He just about got there. That's about the closest he's gotten all night to getting to the inside of Cameron. And I think he's working that diamond approach there at the moment. He's got it going pretty well. Entering a little higher, exiting low. Get you a lot of corner exit speed there, and I think Cameron's kind of catching on to that. He seems to be entering a little higher as well. He's going to get to the inside. Chuck Sweeting will. He's going to be able to keep it off the corner. He will not. So Cameron Rich, in an effort to try and cut off the run to Chuck, just about gave him an opening. But either way, that's going to be really tough to keep off the corner there in Chuck's defense. And kind of just like that, all the work he had done kind of lost there, but he seems to make it up in one corner, so. Sam close behind, somewhat closing in on this battle as well. Just kind of took a quick look around the racetrack. Looks like this is going to be the best battle on the circuit at the moment. So much anticipation for when Chuck's going to get there, because it almost seems like he should have been there a few laps ago. Just with how good he gets on his exit, but just can't get the momentum down the straightaway. This is when you have to preach patience. Still a long ways to go. Don't have to get the lead right now, but obviously he's feeling out his car, and I'm sure he's liking what he feels at the moment. He's 5 laps away from the 100 lap mark, so got a few cautions early, but now we're into a long green flag run at the moment. 51 laps we've been under green. Cameron Rich longer on his tires, 81, than Chuck Sweeting's 68. Caution laps helped with this next mark, but he's going to have to start thinking about fuel, I'd have to believe. Obviously, like we said, cautions are going to help in that saving strategy, but we're probably going to see if this keeps going green. Cameron Rich is going to have to be the first to duck onto pit road. As they're going to start to close in on Peter Short, who will go, it appears, a lap down here tonight. But they're going to start to be lapping into some heavier lap traffic in terms of, you know, higher up the scoreboard, and the higher up you go, the harder it's going to be to lap them. Peter at the moment 17th, but I do see some fairly heavy hitters that are not too far ahead, about a straightaway ahead. .64 of Chad Brown there, just ahead of the 22 of Peter Short. Up there, do see one good battle between Dylan Hickey and Jordan Teal. That might be all for naught in a bit, because Cameron Rich slowly closing in on those guys as Jordan Teal will get the spot. Got about 5 cars there altogether that have lost their nose in some form or fashion tonight. Leading that pack on track is the 8 of Richard Lafferty. Unfortunately, Richard is already a lap down. Dylan Hickey didn't seem like he entered that corner all too well, but either way, going to get out of the way of the leaders. Chuck will be able to clear. See if Sam has the same amount of easiness there. And he will. And this might be good for Chuck, as he starts, or he being Cameron, starts to get closer to these lap cars. Might give Chuck an opportunity to pounce should Cameron get checked up a bit. Hasn't had too much difficulty passing these lappers yet. But now he's going to be dealing with his teammate Peter Short, who definitely does not want to go a lap down here tonight. And seems like he's fighting pretty hard at the moment. So hard, in fact, that Cameron has had to adjust his line a little bit, try and get a little bit higher to get that good run off. And now it's... Oh, someone is blown up. Not sure who that was. I don't believe it was on track, though. I think it was the 63 of Mike Stevens on pit road. I think his engine just gave up the ghost as Cameron will finally get to the inside of Peter. Oh, no! Not quite. Seemed like he had to check up a little bit. Still going to be a fight off. Cameron not having it too easily from teammate Peter Short. He'll still be fighting off corner exit. And we'll give it up there. He will unfortunately fall a lap down. And was really fighting that hard. In case caution came out, he would be the first or last car on the lead lap. And fortunately is... And yeah, not giving Chuck any help there. So that's only going to extend the gap. And this is the difficulty you can have with lap cars, unfortunately, when you're a leader. So Peter, or excuse me, when Cameron gets by Chad Brown, that will officially make Chad Brown the lucky dog and will trap Peter Short a lap down. So that's why he was fighting so hard. Wanted to stay on that lead lap, and I'm sure he knew if he got by it was going to be all over. So. And with Chuck Sweeting, who kind of got caught up in all that mess, he's fallen 0.8 of a second behind Cameron Rich. Not too far behind visibly, as Chuck Sweeting just about moved Peter out of the way there. Absolutely sailed it into the corner. And I'm not sure if Peter got loose off the corner there or was trying to give Chuck the high side. Either way, Chuck's going to get a nose there, and we'll get out of the way now of Chuck. Oh, Chuck just about missed the corner. He's going to go around. Will he be able to save it? And there's the caution. Oh, he's going to get hit by the 89 of Brent Miller. Nowhere to go for Brent. He really had nowhere to go, Brent. I'm sure he saw him, but not much he could have done there. Now we'll have to see if Chuck has any damage. Here's a replay. You're going to see there's a car below him, and I think he could have gone a little bit higher, but that was a pretty hard hit. I have to see if that did anything suspension-wise to the rear end. Same situation that we've seen from some of these guys tonight. They just get really loose in, and I'm not sure. It's probably too much brake. Some of these guys are saying that the brake bias wasn't helping too much, and unfortunately just lost it entering 3. He is actually going to stay out on the racetrack. No, he's coming to pit road now. Had to get caught up there. And Cameron Rich will win the battle off pit road there. Kevin Finn move up to 2nd. He's been pretty solid off pit road here tonight. Kevin Finn has. Sam close to 3rd. Chevy Gilliam to 4th. And Johnny Thomas to 5th when all of this shakes out. Well, while we have the time... It's going to be a few laps, I'd have to believe, before we go back green. We're going to step away for just a quick second, if that's okay with the producer. And we'll be back with the green flag. And we welcome you back. Pace car lights are off, going green this time. It'll be Cameron Rich, your leader. Kevin Finn will restart second. Sam Close in third. Chevy Gilliam in fourth. And Johnny Thomas in fifth. Chevy Gilliam, so far, an impressive first start as the restart has been waved off. Pace car had already pulled in, so they'll probably rejoin it on the back straightaway. If it even comes out. So still waiting on a few guys to catch up to the rear of the pack. Is why we delayed the green. Okay, they're going to wave it off again. Sort of the problem with Martinsville. It's so short that some of these guys can't quite all get caught up in time. And thankfully, Corey will throw the yellow and let everybody be up there at the start. Make it as fair as a restart as possible. One thing I just noticed looking over at the lap counter there, about 7 laps away from the halfway point. On lap 119 of 250, halfway point 125. All right, pace car will pull down here. Believe we'll be going green this time. Everybody looks caught up. Cameron Rich will be your leader. Once again, he is off. Green flag is out. Has not slept on a restart since. And it'll be the battle for second between Sam Close and Kevin Finn once again. Man, Sam really drove it into 3 there. See if he can have a good advantage coming off. It'll be side by side down the front straightaway for second. Oh, contact behind the 48 of Nathan Velez around. Stuck on the grass at the moment. No caution. The 89 of Brent Miller is also around, and the caution is now out. I believe Corey Lindsay threw that caution. Heard some sort of contact in the back, and we're going to see what happened. Ooh, contact with Richard Hines to the back of the 48. Stuck there, and Brent Miller just kind of got tossed around there. So we'll try it once again. The 48 of Nathan Velez already on pit road. I think he took a tow. Kind of surprises me, unless he was stuck in the grass. Very unfortunate for Nathan. Was up in the top 10 most of the night. So it looks like we're going to finish halfway under caution. When we complete lap 125 is when we will start awarding points. And Kevin Finn will not come down. Okay. It was looking like he was, and I didn't know if he was aware of the situation. But for Kevin, this is going to be really good for him, as he was 43 points below the cutoff spot. So any advantage he can get, he should receive 9 points here, this halfway point. And halfway point normally not under caution. Normally when they hit it, they just keep racing. Fortunately, that's just kind of the way the chips are going to fall here tonight. Cameron up there racing the pace car. See if they go off this time. I believe they will. And if they do, they will take lap 125 under green. Nope, they do not come off. So we'll just riddle the points off as they are awarded, or how they will be awarded here tonight. Cameron Rich will be the leader at the halfway point, so he will receive 10 points here. Kevin Finn will receive 9 points for his second place finish here at the halfway point. Sam Close in third will receive 8. Chevy Gilliam in fourth will receive 7. Johnny Thomas in fifth will receive 6. Paul Ross in sixth will receive 5. Tate Lytle in 7th will receive 4. David Wilson 8th, 3. Kyle Hanshaw 2. And Chad Brown will receive a 1 point. All right, so now the lights are off. Perfect timing, as they waved it off again. But that's okay, because I did hear some contact in the back, so I don't think everybody was quite caught up. Yeah, the 91. Yeah, the 91 of Dylan Hickey, 44 of Matt Hackthorne. Who else? Either way, there were some guys on the back who were not caught up. I don't know if they were... They may have been getting the wave round. I don't believe so, however. So now everybody is here. And we will do this once again. Again, Cam and Rich will lead him off here. He's been stellar on the restarts, and deservedly so. He's been the leader basically all night. Can't confirm at the moment, but I believe he's led all the laps here tonight. He's led every lap as he is off once again, and the green flag is off. Johnny Thomas really nailed that restart. Just about gave Sam a tap there, and contact between Sam Close and Kevin Finn. Everybody will avoid Kevin except for the 48 of Nathan Velez, who makes contact with the left front. Take another look at it, and call it how you will. Yeah. Kevin just didn't quite have Sam cleared there. Was told that Chevy, not sure what. Yeah, let's take another look at the 76 here. This is on board. Wow. But as close as you can get right there. I'm telling you, he's having a stellar debut here tonight. Good. I'm almost certain that this is his first start. I believe the 76 last week was occupied by Todd Smith, so I haven't seen that name before in the Cup Series. I know I've seen it. He's a regular in the Truck Series, so usually driving the 31 for Shake and Bake Motorsports. Kevin Finn comes down pit road. Have to see how bad that damage really is on the 14. Hit pretty square on the left front, but that's definitely not a spot that you want to get hit. I'm sure the steering is not too great anymore. Gave him praise just not too long ago before they took the green, so I think I put the curse on him. Commentator's curse, unfortunately. We don't normally see it here at Martinsville, but like we said before and can't confirm it now. Confirmed it before, but just want to reiterate that Cam Rich has led every single lap here tonight. All 132 laps. That's pretty impressive for Martinsville standards. Taking a look at Kevin Finn, he did go a lap down. Have to imagine some required repairs, as he's been on pit road for what will be 50 seconds. Chuck Sweeting is on pit road as well, I think. It's a bit of an extended stay for Chuck. I didn't see any damage, but he will roll off now as pace car closes in, and we'll beat off the pace car. So we're slowly coming down to it, to the end. 118 to go, and that will go by very quickly, depending on how many times the yellow falls. And the lights are off. So we'll re-rack it for you. Cameron Rich, still your leader. It'll be Sam Close now in second. Chevy Gilliam in third. Johnny Thomas in fourth. And Paul Ross in fifth, as they've called the restart off again, letting everybody catch up. Yeah, at this point we're going to have to assume, mainly because all these cars who have damage now are staying on pit road really up until the pace car gets to them, and aren't quite caught up at the 1 to go point. So That's why we keep calling it off, because you saw how close it was. Exit a pit road between some of those drivers. Take a look here. Looks like everybody's caught up now. So Nathan Velez and Levi Zielinski has called it a night, and Mike Stevens at this point will have to call it a night as well. That motor blew earlier and is coming to be 50 laps down now. As pace car is off, Cameron Rich will lead him to the green once again. A bit of a slower restart that time for Cameron, but jumps off once again. And Sam Close will battle Chevy Gilliam off corner number 2 for second. He will have the spot, Sam will now. And Johnny Thomas, wow, Tate Lytle really drove it around that high side through 3 and 4. That was pretty impressive. Don't get to see that very often at Martinsville. Still trying to find that spot in line, though, unfortunately. Still battling Johnny Thomas there for the fourth spot. If he gets a good run off here, he can clear him. Not quite. And now he will get a good run off, as it seemed like Johnny didn't get quite a good exit there. And with that, those front runners kind of singled out there. Paul Ross, little tap from David Wilson there. And David looks like he will lose a spot to Kyle Hanshaw, but will still have a spot in line. Saw some other side-by-side battles back there, yep. Matt Hackthorne, oh, yeah. Chad Brown, a little contact from Dylan Hickey, and I'm surprised that none of them went around. Got really close, and it seemed like Peter Short got the worst end of that. And battle for the lead. Sam Close will get to the inside of Cam and Rich. Rich goes pretty high. It'll still be side-by-side off corner number 4. Sam Close will have the advantage as they head into 1. See what Cam and Rich can do off corner number 2 here. First time he's really been challenged all night. Well, either way, he will not lead them all tonight. Sam Close leads that one, I believe the lap before as well. And a new leader for the first time here tonight. It will be Sam Close. See what... Under green, yes. See what Cam and Rich can do now on the on the second place spot now. He's never been put in this position all night. First time. He does have the 76 of Chevy Gilliam kind of breathing down his neck as well. This is kind of what the doctor ordered for Sam. 8 points below the cutoff spot here tonight. He's been solidly up in the top 5, top 10 all night. And puts himself in the right position here. With, of course, 107 to go. Anything can still happen, but showing he does have a strong car here tonight is Cameron Rich just about got the right rear. This is on board with the 17 you were riding with. Yeah. 76 Chevy Gilliam. Kind of talked about him all night. Gave him some praise. Hopefully I don't put the commentator's curse on him. But he's been doing a stellar job all night. But Tate Lytle as well. Back there in 4th. Battling Johnny Thomas. Those two with a very, very close finish last week at Talladega. 7 1/1000ths of a second. It's a deficit between those two, and Johnny was on the receiving end of that. And he gets a bye for these next 2 races, or this race and next week at Texas, to move into the round of 6. As that battle goes on. Oh, contact between the 46 and the 44, just behind them. It's a pretty heavy door bang between Kyle Hanshaw and Matt Hackthorne. Surprised Hackthorne held on to it. He's going to dive to the inside now. And take that spot. This is a replay. Happened on the back straightaway. 46 of Hanshaw getting loose there off corner number 2. Hackthorne basically blows 3 and 4 there, unfortunately. As Chuck Sweeting was up there all night, currently in 10th, getting by the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. There's a lot of work to do if he wants to get up back to the front where Sam Close is and Cameron Rich putting the pressure on him. Once again, this is the first time that Cameron's been put in this position, so I'm sure he's kind of learning how the car handles and what he can do to get better runs. Obviously, he learned that in lap traffic. I'm trying to apply it here tonight, but of course, he's still got a lot of time to go as we are just at 100 laps to go tonight. So should this go green to the end, we cannot make it to the end. I have to believe, though, we will not run green flag to the end. Not to discredit the drivers. But as we get later into Martinsville racing, the pressure just keeps amplifying, and people start losing their patience as well. One thing that we really haven't mentioned here tonight is the patience and how you can quickly lose it at a track like this. Man, 76 just behind them really drove it into turn 1 and 2, and Cameron Rich will now have the inside of Sam Close. It'll be side by side off 4. Cameron Rich will have the advantage as Sam Close gets a little loose off 4. So put Cameron Rich back to the top spot. Sam Close will fall back to second, and that will be about it. Saw some smoke. Looks like the 8 of Richard Lafferty has blown the motor. That engine has expired and is just slowly crawling down pit road. So it looks like now that Sam Close has fallen back to second, the pressure is being applied to him from behind the 76 of Chevy Gilliam. And Cameron Rich starting to slowly pull away here. Wondering if he may have worked his tires a little too hard there up at the front, trying to hold off Cameron Rich there. Or if his car just isn't a long-run car. Slowly closing in on Luis Almaso as well. Put him, unfortunately, I think that's going to be 4. Oh no, it's going to be 7 laps down. Luis going to put up no fight. And we'll let them all go. So that battle has simmered down, and looking through the field here, I don't see a whole lot of other racing, so it was the best battle, it appeared. Well, 92 laps to go here tonight in this 250 lap event. Martinsville has bit quite a few drivers here tonight. 15 cars on the lead lap. Dylan Hickey going to be the first driver a lap down. Kevin Finn also a lap down. Brent Miller, Luis Almaso 2 laps down. And the drivers that are out of it at this point, Richard Lafferty, who just blew that motor, has just disconnected. Nathan Velez, who was running up front earlier in the race, also disconnected a little bit ago. Mike Stevens basically out of the race, still connected, but out of it, as well as Levi Zielinski. So 4 drivers officially out of it, only 15 on the lead lap. Matt Hackthorne just behind him saw that, tapped the wall a little bit. Seeming like we got a good battle brewing up there for 3rd, but as well back here for 4th. Tate Lytle's actually gotten to the high side of Johnny Thomas and is going to pass him around the high side. Not sure if Johnny let him go or what, but that's very unusual to see a pass being made around the high side of Martinsville. He's been working that high side pretty well here tonight. Saw it earlier as well. Not normally something you see around Martinsville, but he's got it figured out. So the pressure really being applied now to Sam Close there in that second spot by Chevy Gilliam in the 76. He was just about going to have a nose inside of Sam, as he's going to get really high up in the corner. He's going to think about it, and I think Sam's going to let him have the spot. He knows he's there, and you can put the 76th of Chevy Gilliam up at the front, or up to second. By the way, this guy's been very impressive here tonight. His first race here in the 3-wide RaceKings Cup Series has been very solid. Ooh, as soon as I said that, loose off corner number 2, holds on to it though. And oh, the 89 of Brent Miller just behind him, all but dirt tracked it into corner number 3 there. That's been a really problematic spot here tonight, corner number 3 entering. And that's something that I didn't expect, but he's going to be really squirrely once again. Just behind them, the 83 Johnny Thomas. The battle is on for that 5th spot. Paul Ross wants it, and it looks like he will get it. And unfortunately, Johnny's stuck on the outside, but luckily for him, I thought he was going to be able to keep the spot with the 44 bobbling off too, but it looks like he will lose that spot as well. Once again, Johnny really has nothing to worry about here tonight. Playing on house money with the win at Talladega. Advanced into the round of 6. And Johnny will fall all the way back to the 8th position. One driver we haven't really talked about since the restart, the 26th of Chuck Sweeting, who was up there earlier, up to 7th at the moment, was down pit road for an extended stay to fix some damage. And slowly climbing back up. And Brent Miller just not having a good time with that car, not handling to his liking. And that battle just behind you is 4th position between Johnny Thomas and David Wilson. And Johnny will lose another spot. I'm wondering if Johnny kind of cooked his tires off at this point, or his car is just not liking the longer runs. True. Yeah, 6th and 7th, Matt Hackthorne and Chuck Sweeting on about 17 lap newer tires, but most of the field are about on the same strategy as him. Really, those are the only 2 exceptions. But either way, they're moving up through the field. Someone's just blown up. Is that... Oh, and there's the caution. I'm not sure if that was... Oh, the 91 of Dylan Hickey, possibly. Who was that? Slow car there. Oh, Jordan Teal. And he had quickly disconnected, and Hickey had nothing to do with that. Looked like he just got loose off the corner. Yeah, I guess you can say he hit the virtual oil there. Either way, this guarantees these guys of being able to make it to the finish of the race, and no surprise, everybody comes down pit road. Well, at least the guys on the lead lap. Everybody else will have to wait until the next time by to be able to pit. So that run was the first time we had seen Cameron Rich being passed for the lead and having to be put on offense. See if he can hold on to it for the rest of the night. And Tate Lytle will actually beat Sam Close off pit road for 3rd, but Cameron Rich comes off pit road 1st. Chevy Gilliam will come off 2nd. And I think Sam was speeding. Giving a lot of positions up. That's gonna be a horrible penalty to have at this point of the night. 75 laps to go. He's gonna have to fight through a lot of traffic. Definitely has a fast car. Has to be able to keep patience up tonight and work through the field. That will drop Sam all the way back to 13th, and I believe he will still be losing some positions. As well, we'll see if this is correct. When we take the green, I believe it's probably an EOL, so he'll have to start behind all the lap cars as well. Confirm that, yeah. Well, either way, he's got his work cut out for him here tonight. Definitely didn't need this. Kind of on the outside looking in, mentioned that before. And did get some points at the halfway bonus, or at the halfway point. It's going to be a long road ahead for Sam, though, as the lights are off on the pace car. Be going green with 71 laps to go. Yep. We'll have to assume that restart will be waived. Yeah, and these guys aren't even doubling up yet, so there it is. So it seems like, well, no, we have Kyle Hanshaw, so they'll probably wave it off once more, as Kyle Hanshaw is not all the way caught up. Or maybe they will. Alright, I guess they will be going green this time. Cameron Rich will be your leader. Chevy Gilliam second. Tate Lytle third. Matt Hackthorne fourth, and Cameron is off. Chevy Gilliam will be able to clear for second. It'll be a fight for third between Tate Lytle and Matt Hackthorne. Matt, one of the outsiders looking in, doing what he has to do here tonight. Got pretty close to hitting the wall if he didn't. Still fighting on that outside. Chuck Sweeting up to fifth. And Tate Lytle, not a good exit at all. Going to lose 2, possibly 3 spots here. Chuck really tried to work that outside groove. Will not have Tate cleared quite yet. And now he will. And with that, seems like everybody has gone single file once again. Sam Close up to 11th at the moment, just behind Johnny Thomas in 10th. See how much he can make up here in these closing laps. Obviously, some cautions will help if he can avoid them. And it would appear that the 46th of Kyle Hanshaw got a penalty with changing lanes on the restart. Saw him sitting in pit road. I'm not sure if he's repairing damage or has called it a night. Alright, he's still going. And so is Cameron Rich, slowly pulling away from the 76. And how about a guy we haven't talked about all night? Matt Hackthorne in that 44, making some moves to the inside of the 76. He goes on Chevy Gilliam. And he's going to take that spot. Up to second goes Matt Hackthorne. Caught up in a wreck last week at Talladega. Up to second at the moment as Chuck Sweeting battling with the 76 for third. He's worked his way up nicely. Chuck has. As he will not quite get it from the 76 yet. Now he will. He will have the 76 cleared. So Chevy not having too good of a start here on this most recent restart. Lost 2 positions. See if he can't settle out in 4th at the moment. So Matt Hackthorne, 32 points out of it at the start of tonight. Currently in 2nd. Basically, at this point, kind of in a must-win. Not mathematically confirmed yet, but putting himself in a good position here tonight to possibly snag a win should we get a caution late in the going. Coming to 60 laps to go this next time by. And Sam Close has only made it up 1 more spot, up to 10th at the moment. Just a quick update on him. Of course, he got that speeding penalty. Last pit stop. Everybody can make it to the end on this point on fuel. That was not a battle for position between Kevin Finn and Sam, so not another spot there. Yeah, Johnny Thomas, he did not pass Johnny Thomas yet, but was on the rear bumper last time we saw him and still working it at the moment. Cam Rich is definitely definitely checked out on this field at the moment. 1.6 second lead over Matt Hackthorne. Gonna put the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw another lap down. Hackthorne in 2nd, currently just kind of worried about Chuck Sweeting behind him. I think Chuck kind of grazed the wall there. And really drives it into corner number 2. So that's probably the best battle on the circuit at the moment. Kind of looking through the scoreboard at the moment. Sam did get by Johnny Thomas, so he's up to 9th. Hackthorne almost looked like he was going to lose the rear end entering 3. Once again, that's really where we've seen at least most of the slides here tonight. Not necessarily accidents, but that's definitely been the action corner. Turn 3. Everybody's kind of settled out for the moment, closing in on 50 laps to go. Arguably the best battle after the 2nd place battle there. Tate Lytle and Paul Ross, they've been working at it for a few laps now. Tate seems to be getting a little higher exit, and Paul just kind of working with what he's got at the moment. I'd have to believe. Well, someone's sliding. I think that was the 76 of Chevy Gilliam sliding through 4. Or at least through 3. Either way, action corner once again, but Matt Hackthorne getting through traffic there. It was Luis Amaso and Kyle Hanshaw. And now the 76 will work through it. And I'd have to believe, as we close in on 50 laps to go here, that Matt's not going to let the 2nd spot get away from him all too easily from Chuck if he can. Sam Close up to 8th now. Did get by Johnny Thomas, and now Nick Miller puts him up to 8th. Just trying to get all he can at this point as laps keep closing down in a hurry. His next car he would have to pass is the 39 of David Wilson, which is right in front of him. Matt, though, pulling away from this 26. Good news if you're a Matt Hackthorne fan. Everybody else is kind of settled out. Chevy Gilliam, just behind them in third, is slowly started to close a fourth now. He was in fourth. I don't know why I thought he was in third. Anyways, he's slowly been closing into this pack behind him. Tate Lytle and Paul Ross. Those two have been basically nose to tail for the past 20 laps. No one's been able to really do anything with each other. They get by the 89 of Brent Miller. No problem there. Everyone's kind of settled out for the moment. Cameron Rich has extended his lead to 2 seconds at this point now, so sitting pretty as we come to take 44 laps to go. Chevy Gilliam gonna pass the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw, a lap car there on the high side. Somewhat unconventional, but makes it work, doesn't lose any time. Oh, Tate Lytle basically slid through 3 and 4 there. Paul Ross finally going to get the spot there. This is a pretty good dirt track slide there. Able to keep the car underneath him. Once again, turn 3 though, bites another car. Oh, and now it's going to bite Paul Ross. Slid through that corner. Here comes Tate Lytle back at him. Back to the inside and will take the spot back. Oh, and the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw gets hit. I'm not sure who that was behind him. The 5 of Sam Close. Contact behind, and somehow we don't have a caution as Kyle Hanshaw holds on to it. Big contact there, and like we said, holds on to it. And we stay green, coming to 40 laps to go. Sam's up to 7th now at this point. Basically just needing everybody to get out of his way who isn't on the lead lap. Just got by David Wilson. And if you're Sam, there's definitely panic. Didn't need that pit road speeding penalty, especially the position he's in coming into tonight. Up to 7th, see if he can't get any higher than that for night's end. Caution would help his case, but been clean and green so far since the most recent. So Matt Hackthorne has pulled a pretty good gap to the 26 of Chuck Sweeting, about a 1.3 second gap. Back to 3rd now from 2nd. Chevy Gilliam has pulled away from Paul Ross and Tate Lytle, who continued to be nose to tail. Paul had it when Tate slid up, and then Paul slid out of it, so. And like we said, just behind them is the 5 of Sam Close. So, Sam's got a chance, if he's able to catch up to these guys, to get at least up to 5th. 36 laps to go. I don't think he can get any higher than that. And what you're watching right now is basically the best battle on track. Everybody else is kind of single filed out and pulled a gap to each other, but Sam is slowly catching these guys. It's just gonna be the question of so how aggressive he got with the lap car. How aggressive is he gonna be with Team Boss and Tate Lytle? He is really working just the outside of the concrete strip that they have through the corners. It seems like that's where everybody's kind of migrated to here tonight. Off the bottom and up to the top, at least on corner entry. Tate gets a bit of a gap, and here comes Sam. Just outside of the concrete, just behind the 18. Paul loose out of turn 4. That's only going to help Sam's cause, as he is right there. So Sam is officially there. How is he going to get by the 18? Like we said, it's what catching him is one thing, passing him is another. Especially around this track that's basically a one-groove racetrack. Coming around, 30 to go. Cameron Rich just took, so Sam's got a chance to get up to 6th here in front of the 18. Seems like he's kind of... Oh, the 56 gets loose just ahead of him, but I'm not too sure that Sam is going to be able to get by the 56 at least. Seems like he's caught Paul, but he might have worn out his stuff in the process. He's kind of just fizzled out at this point. First, second, and third all have a good gap between each other. Cameron Rich, Matt Hackthorne, and Chuck Sweeting. Chevy Gilliam slowly closing in on the 26th of Chuck Sweeting. It's Peter Short there. All said and done, Peter's not going to have too terrible of a night. Obviously, I'm sure he didn't want to finish 12th tonight, but yeah. Battling for 11th there with Nick Miller. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. All said and done, it could have been a lot worse for Peter Short. Had that restart issue earlier, just a little too much throttle, losing it, and everyone kind of piled in behind him, but like I said, not the night he wanted to have, but could be a lot worse. Even with the lack of a nose he has, you just never give up. "25 laps to go. There's a possibility that third place could change hands. Well, as I say that, Chevy Gilliam in 4th just had a bit of a blink there, and it seemed like he lost some time. That kind of fizzled out there once again, and Sam was really making moves through the field. Tate Lytle's actually going to get into the back of the 89 of Brent Miller, just in front. See if that makes him lose any time on exit. That might be what Sam needs. He is right on the back bumper now with Paul. All of a sudden, 5th, 6th, and 7th, nose to tail once again. Unfortunately for Sam, I think he's worn out his stuff. And Peter Short did get by Nick Miller for 11th there, so has a possibility of still getting a top 10, basically right on the back bumper of Richard Hines. That's most likely going to be all he's going to be able to get, though, as Johnny Thomas a good bit ahead of him. Just entering turn 3 there, with only 20 laps to go. All right. Seemed like Sam was right on the bumper, and I thought he was going to get a good run. Well, he did get a good run. Now he's going to get to the inside of Paul Ross. This is the battle for 6th. He'll have the preferred lane down the front stretch and should have that pass cleared, and he does. Paul's still going to fight a little bit on the entry, but going to lose it all on exit. Up to 6th to Sam close. 19 laps to go. Does he have anything for 5th place Tate Lytle? We will have to see. 7/10 behind Tate. Does have some front end damage. Doesn't really matter at a track like Martinsville, but that car was clean. And saw before bumped the 46 basically out of the way. $17 to go. We close closer in on the finish of the race. I have to believe if Sam Close can get a chance, he's going to use the bumper on Tate Lytle. If he can get there. Saw how aggressive we got with the lap car, and I am assuming with, he was on the outside looking in to begin tonight. Use as many points as he can. He's actually about to pass the car he moved out of the way a little while ago. It's Kyle Hanshaw just in front. Kyle going to get way out of the way. Not going to interfere with that battle. But this is basically the best battle on the circuit. Everybody else is spread out. Especially, the leader has a 4-second lead to 2nd place, and Matt Hackthorne has a 2-second lead over 3rd place, Chuck Sweeting. So, not missing. Yeah, who also has a 2-second lead, 2.2 now over 4th place Chevy Gilliam. So you're not missing anything up front as we close in to the final laps. Sam really throwing it in there to 3. It sticks and gets closer to the 56 of Tate Lytle. Moving down a groove now, Sam was. And seems like Chevy Gilliam slowly starting to close into that battle for 5th. Yeah, Paul Ross could not keep up with that battle. Well, he's not too far behind Sam, but I don't believe he has the car to be able to contend at this point. He'll probably have to settle for 7th. Tate a little loose off, too. Didn't seem like it was enough for Sam to close up too much. 9 laps to go here at Martinsville. Cameron Rich, your leader. Matt Hackthorne in 2nd. Chuck Sweeting in 3rd. Chevy Gilliam in 4th. And Tate Lytle rounds out the top 5. Luis Almaso 1 lap away from being eliminated. That won't be a factor here tonight, it doesn't appear, as he was just put 10 laps down. Unfortunately, in 18th, this is probably going to put him behind the 8 ball as we enter Texas. Don't have official points. See if we can't get them after the race. Someone is... Cameron Rich had a little blink there. Just took 7 laps to go. Once again, this is going to be the battle to the finish. It's going to be a good one at that. Sam gonna slide it into the corner a little. It's going to work out for him, though. Barely got to the inside. Will he try and make the move into 1? He will. Tate should have the momentum off, though. And he does. Oh, big wiggle off 2 for Sam. Just about got him to the 56 as well. 5 to go at Martinsville. Paul there, but not enough to be a factor behind them. Just ahead of them, looks like Chevy Gilliam is Got the car under him once again. This might be what Sam needs. Just behind, though. Tate got a little slowed up behind Brent Miller. Well, still far behind, though. So Cam and Rich coming around to take 2 laps ago, another blink. And he is not, now he's come back. We should note that Cameron is streaming tonight. His ping's not an issue, it's his quality that's the issue. But 2 laps to go. Coming to take the white flag. And Cam Rich has just about led them all tonight. Had to battle with Sam close earlier in the race. Had to fend off a few battles tonight. But has done it well. And no doubt has led the most laps tonight, Cameron Rich has. And off corner number 4. Punches his ticket to the round of 6. And Cameron Rich will win his 9th race of the season. That's an impressive number as we watch the battle for the end here between Sam Close and Tate Lytle. It'll be Tate who finishes off in the top 5. Sam Close will have to settle for the 6th spot. Once again, an impressive night for Cam and Rich. Can confirm his 9th win of the season. An impressive season, and he's going to be able to take it to the next round, the round of 6. So now we know the 2 who will be advancing. Will we have a 3rd next week at Texas? We will find out then, but Cam Rich is going to burn him down. Gonna try and do a Denny Hamlin style into 3, but didn't quite happen. Oh, and he blew it up! Party foul. I mean, he didn't need that motor anyways, but either way, blows it in the 3. Alright. Well, saw the burnout there, so didn't miss anything. We're gonna step away for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will talk to the top 3 here. Don't go away.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We welcome you back to the Martinsville Speedway here tonight. This race just finishing up. Cameron Rich wins it here tonight. Don't have an official lap count, but definitely led the most here tonight, and we have him ready for interview, so let's bring him up. Cameron Rich, 3 Wide TV, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do. What's going on?
Well, not the first time we've said it here tonight, or this season I should say, but total domination from you here tonight. Had to battle with Sam there a little late in the race, but definitely led the most tonight, and looked like it was a pretty flawless run from you tonight.
Yeah, man, that was my strategy. Just I knew I had short run speed, so I just wanted to get out in front and just kind of eliminate any potential of having carnage. I saw there was some in the back there. Yeah, I had confidence in my short run speed to give up a little bit on the long run. I know Chevy was really fast there on that one run. He was catching me pretty well. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Just stay out of trouble, and worked out pretty well.
Well, besides the last run we had all night, it seemed like, for the most part, both Chuck, I guess Sam as well, obviously he got the lead from you at one point, and you said Chevy, keeping pretty close tabs on you for most of the run, for whether they be short runs or long runs. Was that just not trying to overuse the car and just trying to keep it under you?
Early on there, I was just kind of taking it easy, not trying to. About 90 to 100 laps in, the track really tightened up in the center. I felt it really, it was really prominent. So I wasn't getting the good runs off like I was before, and those guys that run in higher, like Sam and Chevy, they were getting, they were able to roll the center and get that run off better. And I messed up there out of 4 and hit the curb and about spun it out. And got behind Sam, and it was really hard to pass. Like, you know, it doesn't matter if you're really faster than someone. Just couldn't get that run unless you like made a dive bomb or something. So yeah, the track was fun, and it definitely changed the.
Absolutely. Well, I will ask you this because it didn't seem like you had much issue with it. I want to know if it affected you. It seemed like the entrance to turn 3 bit quite a few drivers here tonight. Was that an issue for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. And when I got in practice on Thursday, my first lap in a 3, I hopped the rear and I spun it out. And I was like, what the hell just happened? There's a bump down there in 3, and like you gotta, yeah, there's a really big bump, and you just gotta drive through it. You can't really, you gotta drive a little bit different than 1 and 2. I don't know, something with the setup this year or something. We didn't have to do that last year, I don't think. It was kind of like the same on both ends, but maybe it's stiffer or something. Yeah, it was definitely really prominent. The whole race, the entry to 3 was, you had to take it a little bit tighter than 1 and 2, or else you'd hit that bump and it would just mess up your entire 3 and 4.
Well, that answers a lot of questions for me. So, have a pass into the round of 6. You move into Texas playing on house money, basically. What's the outlook for Texas?
I'm just gonna go out there and have fun like I do every week. It's I'd say it's working pretty well. Maybe we can get a win. I like Texas. Track's really slick and hot, or maybe not hot, but it is slick. Probably more so than Atlanta and iRacing. So I like driving it. So we'll go out there and just have some fun and see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck at Texas. We congratulate you on the win here tonight, and you don't have to be told, but go celebrate, I guess.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
That was Cam and Rich, your winner, and it would appear that our second place finisher is ready. Matt Hackthorne will bring him up. Matt Hackthorne, 3White TV, do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I will say, I was not expecting to talk to you tonight, but up towards the top 10 most of the night, and up front when it counted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting really, really tired of seeing the flashing red lights every week. I was overheating that whole first stint since I got damage. I went down a lap, and I just ate it, and luckily we had that string of cautions. I got put right back on, and I just kind of paced myself through the field. The last 20 to 30 laps, my engine temps were sitting there blinking at me. They were mad. So, I mean, I'll take second. I wish I could actually have raced against Cameron, because, I mean, I could pace him at the rate I was, but I couldn't actually stay on the gas late enough to make a difference.
Yeah, involved in some of the carnage tonight we saw, and
oh, as always.
Yeah, unfortunately, but definitely closed up the gap. It would appear, kind of looking at the points as they were updated, definitely closed up some of the gap that you needed. 32 points outside looking in tonight. It seems like you closed in about half that.
I'm glad to take that because I mean my luck is absolutely terrible. I mean, just like Chuck said, he's like, I don't know what you did to piss off the world, but it's after you, bud. But I mean, just to have the chance to make up the ground here, I don't know if I'll be super competitive at Texas because I'm not really good at those style tracks. This is more my bread and butter, but you never know. I've pulled off crazy stuff before. I mean, look at Dover.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at tonight too, even with all that damage you had, almost overheating it, like you said, come out with a second place finish here tonight. Kind of gave us a little outlook at for Texas. Not exact numbers, but looks like 15 behind going into Texas. What's it going to take?
Just honestly, I just hope I make it past the first caution for once. I mean, tonight was the second one, but I don't know what I got to do to get my luck turned around. I need the monkey off my back is what I need. I mean, I don't think I'm going to make the truck side, but I'd really like to keep going in Cup because I love this side of it. When I'm up front, it's great racing against these guys. This is one of the best leagues I'm in, but you just got to roll with the punches, and that's what I had to do tonight. I really, really, really think I had something for Cam if I didn't have to save my engine, but you just take what you're given and hope for the best.
Absolutely. Well, tonight I'm sure was good momentum, hopefully, as we roll into Texas. Before we let you go, anybody you have to thank?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for always putting on an awesome broadcast. I can't wait to watch this in about an hour. I gotta thank my teammates, everyone. I had a great time in the Pinnacle chat. It's always a blast in there. Really good guys.
Oh yeah.
Gotta thank Corey for putting this on. I mean, I've been part of this league for a long time, and I mean, this is probably one of our best years yet. I mean, Cam is unreal, but I mean, he's a machine. I mean, maybe one day I'll beat him, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on second place here tonight, and go get him at Texas.
Thank you, sir. I hope so.
All right, that's Matt Hackthorne. Finishes second here tonight. Now we'll talk to our third place finisher, Chuck Sweeting. Chuck Sweeting, 3xTV, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Justin.
Well, up there most of the night. It seemed like you fell back a little bit on pit road. I'd have to assume that was for damage, and made it back up there.
Yeah, I hit that bump going into 3 and spun it, and got hit by one of the cars that was trying to go by, and they clipped me pretty bad, and had about a minute and a half's worth of damage, and just kept pitting under all those cautions, and just kind of put me behind, and was a little discouraged the rest of the race. I kind of really wanted to race Cam for the win, but I'll take a third. I was happy to see Matt finally finish a race and get a good run, and he was actually fast, even though his car looked like it had been a destruction derby.
Absolutely. Well, one of the ones bit by that turn 3 bump, it seemed like that was a trouble spot most of the night. Cameron kind of talked about how you had to drive 3 and 4 differently. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I heard him talking about that in his interview. I didn't notice the bump, but that must have been what I hit. Maybe in my normal line I wasn't hitting it, but I hit it that time. I don't know. The car just snapped on me, and tires were so hot because we were good ways into that run, so there was just no saving it. So, I had to come through some wrecks after that and get the damage repaired. So I'm happy to bring the iTaste Chevy Camaro home third, and we'll move on to one of the mile and a halfs next week.
Absolutely, and looking like, well, this isn't the official grid, but in terms of points, definitely helped your cause here tonight. Was +8 entering tonight, and probably gonna extend that gap a little as we head into Texas. Kind of gave us a little look into Texas next week. What's it gonna take to move into the round of 6?
It's going to take some good tire saving and making sure you don't wreck the car. So it's going to be, depending on the temperature, which being Texas, it's probably going to be pretty warm. That track has very little grip anyway, so it's going to be a tough race, that's for sure. But hopefully I can come through it okay.
All right. Well, a third place finish for you here tonight. Anybody you have to thank before we let you go?
Just thank Corey for all the work he does with the league, and Carlos and you and the broadcast with the broadcast channel. You guys do a great job. And my team, Randall Fox Racing, all they do for me. So that's it.
All right. Well, congratulations on the third place here tonight, and we wish you the best of luck on the cutoff race of Texas next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Justin.
And that was Chuck Sweeting. Comes home with the top 3 here tonight. And with that, why don't we take you through where they all finished here tonight at Martinsville? Of course, it was Cam and Rich who took home the win tonight. I think my screen froze, but we'll take you through where they finished. Matt Hackthorne going to come home second here tonight. Chuck Sweeting with the top 3 there. Chevy Gilliam, an impressive run here tonight in 4th. Tate Lytle will round out the top 5. A good run for him here tonight. Sam Close going to come 1 spot shy, there it is, of coming home with a top 5 finish. He'll finish 6th. Paul Ross will finish 7th. David Wilson in 8th. Johnny Thomas in 9th. Already a bye into the round of 6, so no real worry for Johnny tonight, but a good run nonetheless. And Peter Short, even with the damage he had, comes home with a top 10. Could have been a lot worse for the driver of the 22. Richard Hines going to come home 11th, 1 spot shy of a top 10. Nick Miller will come home 12th. A good finish for Nick there. Chad Brown will finish 13th. Kevin Finn 14th, and Dylan Hickey will round out the top 15. Kyle Hanshaw 16th. Brent Miller in 17th. Luis Salmaso going to take a hit tonight in 18th. Jordan Teal in 19th. And Richard Lafferty will round out the top 20. And in blackjack position number 21, Nathan Velez 21st. Mike Stevens in 22nd. Levi Zlinski will round out the field here in 23rd. All right, well, before we say goodbye to you here tonight, got to send out the thank yous, of course, to RaceKings for sponsoring the series. Thank you for all that you do. Got to thank Corey Lindsay for officiating here tonight, especially stepping out of the car and doing what he did here tonight. And obviously this wasn't his first time doing it, but got to thank him. Putting in the hard work tonight, and definitely have to thank him for keeping me informed, at least, on what was going on with the penalties and sort. Definitely thanks to him. Got to thank Track Cams for Gourmet for the camera angles we saw here tonight. The cameras tonight were provided by Track Cams for Gourmet. You can find more information and download the pack at www.trackcams22.com or facebook.com/trackcams. And Thomas Morris from OCR TV for the graphics package you saw here tonight. Man, Martinsville was a tough one for some of them here tonight, for some of the championship contenders, and for some, it was a cakewalk. Specifically, Cam and Rich, he gets a bye into the round of 6 as we move on to the elimination race next week at Texas Motor Speedway. That will be next week, October 8th. Same time. Not same place, but, well, I guess the same place here on 3Wide TV. So, we thank you for watching here tonight. Want to thank Carlos Costa and the production truck doing all the work he did. For him, I'm Justin Kolb. We thank you for watching here tonight, and we will see you next week at Texas.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.